Welcome to the What's Your Legacy podcast, where we dive into the legacies that changed lives and the stories behind them. Today, I'm thrilled to sit down with Jose Neaners Garcia. Neaners is the founder and executive director of Hope for Homies, a healing center in Everett dedicated to empowering youth and adults through cultural reconnection, emotional regulation, and mentorship. Raised as a migrant worker, he faced significant hardships, including language barriers, an abusive home, which led to his 45-year sentence at just 14. While incarcerated, he earned his GED and envisioned a future rooted in healing and transformation. Since his release in 2014, he has dedicated his life to social work, launching programs like Coffee for Homies at Tierra Nueva, and developing successful youth initiatives in school. Now leading the law Enforcement Assisted Diversion model for adults, he also runs a for-profit business while mentoring future leaders. A devoted father and advocate, Neaners believes challenges are opportunities for growth, using his lived experience to guide others towards healing and self-discovery. His mission is to build a lasting legacy of hope and resilience in marginalized communities. Join us as we uncover what drives him, the values he hopes to leave behind, and a few surprises along the way. I'm your host, Elsa Espino, a fine art photographer, aspiring producer, and creative force in theater and TV. From behind the camera to on stage, I'm here to bring you the stories of impact and legacy. Let's transition into our first segment, the legacy vision. All right, Neaners, you ready?
Yeah, it was good.
Let's get it. Okay, so let's transition here into our first segment, our legacy vision. Neaners, what are some values or principles you hope people remember most about you?
First, I think I appreciate you having me here today. It's a blessing, I think I just want to make sure that people see that we're consistent and persistent in our hope of creating healing in the community, and to be able to continue that in moving forward, that kind of pay it forward project kind of thing, So that's what I'm hoping to leave behind.
I love that. Are there specific examples of how you've embodied these values in your work or life?
I think one of the things that, like what Jesus said, 70 times 7, you got to keep forgiving. And I think that's one of the things we got to continue to keep doing when we do our work is forgive, because, we all still fall short, and healing is a process. It's a journey. It's not a race. So we're going to take time. So hopefully through that, with the work that we've done with our community, and we can continue to serve people and continue to create that.
Wow, that's powerful. I'm like, forgiveness. So many people hold on to grudges all their life and never move past it.
Yeah, that's for sure.
There's no room for growth holding on. All right, Nina. So we're going to dive into one of our first legacy challenges. Are you ready?
I hope so. You're scaring me.
No, I'm like, it gets better every segment. Okay, let's get it. So here it is. Our 1 minute motivational challenge. We're going to do a little stopwatch here so we have a visual. Neaners, you've inspired so many people. However, can you do it in just 1 minute? I'm going to give you a chance to deliver a short and powerful speech to 3 different audiences. A teenager on the edge of joining a gang.
First I want to just start by saying that just the ability to be here, the presence of you it's an inspiring thing for me. I've been in the same shoes and been set in the same path. That I know that this journey, I can't control your decision, nor can I control anything that comes from this. All I can say is that I'm here in any shape, way, or form that you need me to be. I can only hold on to what I can give and stuff, and the rest is on you, whether you want to grab it or not. Chances favor a prepared mind and stuff. And so I'm hoping through my words that you could properly prepare yourself to take on the challenge of continuing this conversation and go further than where it's at right now, We can't fix what's broken, and nobody's broken here, So it's just moving forward from here, That's just how I see it right now.
All right. Love it. Let me reset. All right. Next one. A recently released inmate unsure of their future. How you gonna inspire? Go.
Man, I've been on the same situation. Got out of prison, didn't have nothing. Started from the garage, didn't have anything. I was able to find that through healing, just taking the time to really evaluate who I was and really taking the time to personally spend time with myself and finding who I was. I know it's not going to be easy. It's challengeful, and it's always going to be challengeful. But I mean, God gives the biggest battles to the strongest warriors, and so that's why we're here today, to take this on and to hopefully we can inspire other folks through our mission and to look past just our personal problems, but look at this. This is something that continues to happen in our culture, in our race, and in the person that we love. They get affected through this. So we're hopefully that we can make something that can motivate not just yourself, but our community. And so it's finding that hope within yourself, because I can't give you that, And so I think that's one of the biggest things when I got out of prison. What was really good and told to me was, just in believing in myself and create my own path,
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully that'll be something that inspires me to move forward, man, because it's hard out here.
Shit. Time. I was. I've been a rooster. Okay. Last one. A struggling young entrepreneur trying to start over. Go.
Ooh, damn, that's
Come on,
hard.
let's
But
bring the heat.
So I think first and foremost, like I always I don't really know I really don't have a lot of words to inspire you to go forward any stronger, because of what you've already gone through and overcame. That's enough right there for you to know that there's this that setting back is it's not in our agenda, It's not in us, and it's not in our culture. It's not in who we are. I just think for myself, I look at the fact that all the stuff that I've already gone through, and how I'm going to move forward, and what I'm going to do to move forward. And plus, I got to remember that, nobody's going to do it for me, I got to do it myself. And so I think we just got to, you can't say bad words, but nut up and get it over with,
Like, beep.
Yeah, like we just got to go for it, man.
Yeah.
There's no second chance for us, sometimes, and that's what sucks about being brown and having this type of stuff in our culture. Coming from this background,
Mm-hmm.
Only get one shot, so but go all in.
I was. No, love it. Thank you, Neaners. I think that was very impactful, recognizing like where we come from, and you only got today. You got to push yourself today, because tomorrow you never know. And why live in that mindset,
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you, Neaners. Appreciate you.
I appreciate this. Thank you.
Yeah. So I'm going to come back into some more questions right now. How do you want your life's work to influence future generations with everything that you have going on right now?
I think, like, with everything that I got going on, I feel like I hope people see that it's not about it's not a race, because we can get really lost in that, and it's not about gangs, because I'm not a gang prevention program, we're just a healing center, and we're hoping through our stuff that we've established that folks can see that that's what we want to create, kinship, community. We come together and we become a family. We do our daily devotion. We make sure we eat together. We make sure we wait for each other. We make sure we run together. My team that I caught this time, we come deeper than that. And in everything I do, I always invite them, because I want our organization to be like, someone that brings everybody with you all the way through, and you walk with them through it. You don't just do the warm handoff. You stick with it. And a lot of programs, a lot of folks don't do that. They'll give you an agenda of what to do to get your driver's license or to get yourself set up. But like, it's scary out here, especially in this world right now, the way it's set up, So hopefully it'll set it up a little bit better for our community folks out here,
Yeah, and sometimes that's what it is. It just takes a little bit of kindness and somebody's willingness to really help transform someone's life. And I think everybody's just so caught up in the rat race that nobody, gives a second look at helping somebody else. Everybody's so centered on themselves. And sometimes we just need like a helping hand to move on to that next step.
And everybody's in different chapters of their lives, Like, I'm where I'm at, but this is like 10 years in the making, I didn't just all of a sudden end up the way I did, Went through a lot of stuff, same way the guys are nervous when they speak. I went through the same thing. I still go through the same stuff, It's a journey, and everybody's in different pages. And as long as you guys understand each other, you move together and stuff. You build your own books,
I have a question. How did Hope for Homies come along? How did you come up with that idea?
So, before I got released in 2014, before I got released from prison, I sat in the hole for 5.5 years. I sat in solitary confinement for 5.5 years. So I was sitting there, and I was like 3 years in, and I just had slit some officer. I just cut some officer with the homies and stuff, and so I was tired. And if you go to my office, you'll see I drew up a map of what I wanted to envision for our community, and I was gonna call it Harvesting Homies. And then it's crazy, like years later, I seen on the bottom of the picture, and the little gate where the gate to go into the complex that I had built envisioned in my head says "Hope for Homies" in little words.
Aww.
So I was like, man, this is it. But we started Second Chance Outreach because I know how these folks out here be scared. You say "Hope for Homies," they're gonna be like, nah, we ain't want them dudes in. So we started Second.
What?
Yeah, so we had to baby step it in, but we in now.
No, that's amazing. I heard about you. I was like, wow, I feel like that's such a hard demographic to like really help, and having somebody who has experience with it, I think welcomes more people to get help for sure. Yeah,
it's hard. I mean, especially being, we're an internal community. We really don't talk about what we've gone through. We're not like other cultures and stuff. We're a different kind of breed. And so, I mean, I just feel blessed to be able to get the kind of folks that do encounter the time to come and visit us and spend time with us and get to know us, and realize that we're not a race, we're a culture,
And what's one piece of advice you'd give like the next generation of leaders in your organization?
Patience, man. I tell Raul all the time, you're gonna be in charge of this place.
Listen up, Raul. Listening.
You're gonna be in charge of this place. You're gonna hold it down for me and stuff. But patience. I mean, I've gone through ups and downs with everybody. People quit on me and then they come back, and it's 70 times 7. You got to keep forgiving. I mean, and at the end of the day, you do it for yourself. I hold no grudges for anybody. Like, I try not to be mad at anybody. I try to do my own thing. You only get 24 hours of the day. I'm not gonna waste a lot of my time stressed out about what the next man's doing or the next person's doing. So, just gotta be really patient with people, and I think being humble, and then having that kinship. So when you walk into our doors, it says kindness starts here. Because that's what we want every time you walk into our doors, And our whole focus every time, when I get up, and I text my daughter every morning, 10 toes down, chest out, chin up. You know that, mama. She's brown on an all-white school. You got to hold it down. And a reminder of kinship, And so I tell you, remember kinship. That's how you're going to grow. And so that's just how I feel like letting these kids, letting anybody that takes over, And I do want to hand over the baton because my goal isn't to always do this, I eventually want to become a pastor. I eventually want to be able to do more ministry work and stuff, be more do more incarnational work. I don't really believe in churches. I believe in God, and
like spirituality.
I'm ecumenical, so I really believe in God. And I studied Thomas Merton. I studied, I've been in monasteries and stuff like that. So that's just really my focus, Just trying to create healing.
Yeah, no, I love that. It's like healing for you, healing for those in your circle, for your outer circle, for the raza. Love it. All right, so we're going to transition once again. You ready?
Yeah,
okay.
I'm scared now.
No. For this one, I'm going to have you close your eyes for like a split second. Okay. I'll tell you this right now. Neaners, I'm going to have you stick your hand in our legacy box. Whatever item you pull out, you're going to have to share a memory or a story inspired by this object, okay? But close your eyes.
All right.
Alrighty. Stick your hand in there, feel around. Maybe you'll feel one thing and you want to feel another thing. Take your time. Okay, you can open your eyes now. Okay, describe it to me. Tell me what's up.
It's a little... with a little ball with the world on it, and or a universe or something like that, and it's crazy, like so.
Wow, that's crazy.
So
you got the world on here.
Yeah, my chain, half the world at least. But yeah, a little squishy ball, a little squishy. Yeah, so when I came up here as a child, I didn't come up here as I didn't ever want to be a gang member, I wanted to be a basketball player. My goal was to play basketball. My neighborhood was infested with gangs, and cockroaches and rats and all that stuff. Had to shake your book bag out before you went to school. I see my brothers in them. I didn't get the ability to go to school, but when my sister went, I remember my sister one day, she came home and she told me, she's like, hey, you got to learn English. I wasn't putting her in a bilingual school, and she told me you got to learn English, and if not, you're not gonna make it out here. My goal was to go play for Duke, and to be a Blue Devil. My sister stole the map, and she's like, you're gonna go the furthest away. The furthest away was North Carolina because she had cut the map in half. And so I wanted to go play for North Carolina. I wanted to play for Duke, and I had to learn English first, And I got the opportunity. I watched a bunch of shows like Sanford and Sons, Three's Companies, Welcome Back, Kotter. But my sister taught me my first song.
What was that?
You got the whole world in my hand, and she got the whole world. And so I sang that with her. She was singing to me, you know, she teach me that stuff, and it's the first song I sang. And so I remember that, and she always reminded me, you know, like, your world is your world. Like, this is a universe, you know, like, your world is your world. You know, you got your whole world. And so I ended up going off to prison at a young age, you know, 10 years old, 14 years old. But, yeah, that's what this little thing reminds me of. And it's crazy because I got my whole world right here.
That's wild.
Yeah, man.
It got me shook. I'm like,
it
was meant to be.
Yeah, man. But it was what taught me how to speak a little bit better English. And then I started watching more stuff and facial expressions and just started learning how to speak and stuff a little bit better. And my English is really good now, you know. But, yeah.
Okay. As we reflect on our younger selves, there's so much we wish we could have said or done differently. The wisdom we gain over the years often shapes our path in ways we couldn't have predicted back then. If you could go back to a key moment in your life, what advice would you give your younger self?
It's funny, you know, today, a quick story, you know, 2 of my kids in my class got in a fight. I didn't get a chance to make it to youth group. I was doing something else. So my staff told me, you know, they got in a little argument. And I was talking to them about hope, you know, helping our people evolve. You know, that's why we said hope, you know. I told them when I was a little kid, my mom used to get beat up all the time by my dad, you know, she was in and out of jail, sold herself, drugs and everything, did everything and above. You know, my sister got molested, you know, my sister got raped, you know, we went through hell and back. But I would sit under the blankets and stuff, you know, and I'd cover my whole head, my whole body, and I'd tell myself, you know, I'd be like if I was in a boat captured and I was shackled, handcuffed, and there's a bunch of us, and I would want to jump out, I'd get out of it, escape, and help everybody escape from this boat. And then I'd be that one hero. And I remember that I would do that every night until finally I gave up because, I mean, there was no hope. So I stopped doing it. And I wish I could go back and tell myself, like, that right there is what created today, you know? So you did it, you know? You created hope. You create hope for homies, you know? So, yeah.
And thinking about that advice, how do you think it could help others facing similar challenges today?
Not to give up, man. We give up too easy. Someone says something on a post or someone says something in something, we give up. We just tap out. Everybody wants the hand out, not the hand in, you know? And then in this type of work, you need a hand in relationship, honest relationship, not a hand out, you know? And I think people just tap out too fast. They tend to see that it's going to get harder than what it is. So that's why I challenge kids all the time, you know, and I put them in situations so that they can grow. You know, I tell them every time, you know, every week I tell them, you know, you got to say hi or how's your day going to 5 different people. Not people you know, anybody you see in the store, just ask them how their day's going. That's all you got to do. And it challenges them to be able to grow that voice within themselves so that they can be able to speak up and be able to understand their emotions and feelings. Because it's uncomfortable to talk to someone you don't know. You know, I meet you down the street, you're going to look at me, you're going to be like, that dude's a drug dealer or he's a gang member or he's something above. Yeah. But you don't realize that, like, who I am and stuff, you know. And then I say, hi, how you doing? You know, it's hard. But I have challenged our kids and I challenge my staff, you know. Every time you're at a store, you never know. That person might be, wow, you know, someone sees me. Someone recognizes me. Because, I mean, I trip out when people tell me hi at stores or when how's your day going? And like, what?
Like, excuse me, back up.
So it's a trip. So, so that's something that I really, I think a lot of us, we give up way too soon. And I think it's just our internal muscles, they're not built to do that. You know, this is our life right here. Social media, texting each other from class to class, from just across the hall to across the hall, you know. And we grew up, I'm 43, I grew up in the 80s. Like, I didn't get the ability to get notes from girls, but I hear about that, you know. So I got letters in prison, but that's about it, you know. So, I think that's be it.
I love that. I think, communication is something a lot of people struggle with so much. And I think also putting yourself in uncomfortable positions is so uncomfortable, but that's where you grow and you become the person you're meant to be. Without uncomfortableness, there's no growth at all. Yeah. Before we wrap up, I'd love to close with a question that takes us through a decade of choice moment. Neaners, if you had to pick one decade that truly shaped you, which one would it be and why?
when I was when I turned like around the age of 23, 24, you know, when it's what made me today, you know. I sat there and I was getting transferred around state to state, prison to prison, and something in me hit me, and it was just like, you know, like, damn, you know, I swam with sharks in the joint, you know, freaking my name rings bells in the joint, you know, I did hella stuff, you know, and that time right there really framed who I was as an individual, as a person, and allowed me to see who I was as myself. Mm-hmm. And the biggest part about it is it allowed me to accept my decisions that I made, mm-hmm. and to create the new outcomes that I wanted to make. And it didn't have to be dependent on anybody else and feel like I was tied into anybody else, but I was me. And so I learned to love myself at age 23, 24, 25, 26, and stuff, till I came home and to this day. And it's not easy. It didn't happen in a matter of seconds, minutes, mm-hmm. years. I'm still working on it, you know? But I'm never giving up, though, you know, because I'm worth it, you know? And everybody else is.
Mm-hmm. And do you feel like that's influenced the person you are now? Like just not giving up and...
Yeah, I mean, shit, I could have been staying in there for life, you know, doing the same thing, you know, running amok. Homies that grew up with me, more than half of them are dead. The ones that came out of prison with me are either back in prison, you know. Mm-hmm. So I think it made me understand the person that I was and just how to create better solutions and outcomes for who I was. And most importantly, it's just I learned to love myself, you know.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I'm sure, like, your family's so happy and proud and, you know, with all the changes in your life.
Yeah, it's cool. Day. It's cool. You know, I got, my brothers passed away when I was in prison and stuff, so I got my 2 kids and stuff. You know, I'm a single dad, so I just raised my kids by myself. You know, but with my kids' mom, we mm-hmm. co-parent, so it's pretty cool. Nice. But and that, yeah, getting it, you know.
Little by little, hustling every day.
Yes, ma'am.
And as we near the end of today's episode, I want to leave you with some, like, final thoughts. When it's all said and done, what do you hope people will say about you at your funeral or celebration of life?
Oh, man. I was telling him.
Not that I'm telling you that about death, but, like...
It's crazy. We run a funeral establishment as one of our businesses. I own them. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so we give job opportunities. So we see death all the time. But I just hope that they say that, you know, that I did what I did. I lived my life, you know? Like, I wouldn't want people crying over it, you know? I want people to be excited and stuff, you know, and be like, yeah, man, you know, like, he's opened doors, you know? We're only in this world for like 70, 75 years, 80 years, you know? We could live it in grudgement, and we can live it in anger, we can live it in hostility, or we could just sit here and enjoy it and love and be humble and show our other people, you know, they're going to run this world how to do it better, you know? I mean, we're all learning, we're all servants and, you know, serving the community, doing stuff for the people, and so I hope that they say I did good and stuff, man. You know, I mean, that's about it. And not take my necklaces.
Put them in the grave. No, you gonna have any music at this party?
Nah, man. No? I just want it to be peaceful, man.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, just
Love
peaceful. That. You know, I studied a lot of like monastics, so I just want it to be peaceful and just roll through, coast it, you know, and just let's go. You know, I mean, it's just another day, you know.
Mm-hmm. Wow. I'm like, that's such a, like, different answer than what I would think of, like, as a person in, like, the Hispanic community or, like, Mexican community. It's, like, you pull up at a funeral and people have, like, bandas and, such a extravagant party. But I think to have, like, a peaceful moment to really celebrate somebody, that's, like, emotional to think about.
Yeah.
To just be in that moment. And what are some steps that you're taking right now to ensure that legacy of yours becomes a reality?
I mean, grinding every day in schools, you know, educating people, training up more folks. You know, I got Bell's palsy. I don't know if you know what Bell's palsy is.
No.
Half your face, you lose movement on half your face. So I lost the movement on half this side of my face. It's not a stroke, it's Bell's palsy. It's stress still. Mm-hmm. So I lost half the movement on my face. So I can only move so much. Like, I can't close this eye. I had to close it, you know, myself and blink it. So, it's taught me a lot, you know. It's taught me a lot of my patience and, you know, actually, like, slow down a little bit. So, like, I've been grinding, but I've just been grinding smarter. You know, 2025 has been different for me because this happened in 2024, and they said it's coming back, you know, but it's still, like, to be able to brush your teeth and all the water's filled out, to drink and it just comes down. Like, it was scary and stuff, you know. And then our culture doesn't speak about any type of stuff like that. So I didn't know what it was. We had to look it up and all kinds of stuff to figure out it wasn't a stroke. But I mean, just grinding differently, grinding smarter, you know, enjoying my days and enjoying my hustle, enjoying the grind. That's what I've been trying to do, and enjoying the fact that I get an opportunity to hang out with youngsters like him and stuff, you know, and do things with them and stuff. To me, that's a blessing, you know. I mean, I feel cool when I hang out with these youngsters, man. They're cool as hell, you know. And so, I mean, just being in schools and doing these groups and continuing to figure out new ways to support the Hispanic community and support my API community, my natives, and anybody that's from the brown community, you know. Yeah. And
would you like to share any final thoughts before we close out?
I think that's it, man. Just, you know, just enjoy life and be peaceful, and instead of fighting, hug it out, man. Just love each other, man. For reals, man. It's too much. Life's too short, man. It's way too short, you know. I mean, I'm barely on my 10th year out. I feel like I'm 10 years old. You know, like, you put my math into perspective of how long I'm 43. I've only been out in the world for 20 years. Mm-hmm. You know, that's nothing, you know. It's like I lost 23 years of my life. And it's like, damn. Like, so just enjoy life, man. One day at a time, you know. And that's about it.
All right. Well, thank you, Neaners, for joining us today on this journey of reflection, wisdom, and legacy. Remember, everyone, the choices you make today are the stories others will tell tomorrow. So live boldly, leave your mark, and create a legacy that inspires. Until next time, keep making an impact, and remember, someone is always paying attention.